Hi everyone, welcome to this new topic, email and messaging. First point is email clients and servers. Email is one of the most popular client-server applications on the internet. Email servers run server software that enable them to interact with clients and with other email servers over the network. Each email server receives and stores mail for users who have mailbox configured on the mail server. Each user with a mailbox must use an email client to access the mail server and read these messages. Many internet messaging systems use a web-based client to access email. Examples of this type of clients include Microsoft 365, Yahoo, and Gmail. Mailboxes are identified by the format user at company.domain. Various application protocols used in processing email include SMTP, POP3, and IMAP. And we can see this image, and the sender send the packet from this router and the router from this connection to the internet. And this is all the travel to the data to arrive with the recipient. And we can see SMTP, IMAP, or POP3. Email protocols. Simple Mail Transfer Protocol (SMTP). SMTP is used by an email client to send messages to its local email server. The local server then dedicates if the message is destined for a local mailbox or if the message is addressed to mailbox on another server. If the server has to send the message to a different server, SMTP is used between those two servers as well. SMTP requests are sent to port 25. Click play to Click play in the figure to see how SMTP is used to send email. Okay, send. Okay, okay. I have received a message that is must forward to another mail server. I have received a message for one of my email accounts. I will store it unit until the user requests it. Okay, that is simple mail transfer protocol. Post Office Protocol POP3, a server that supports POP clients receive and store message addressed to its user. When the client connects to the email server, the messages are downloaded to the client. By default, messages are not kept on the server after they have been accessed by the client. Client contact POP3 server on port 110. Internet Message Access Protocol IMAP4. Internet Message Access Protocol. A server that supports IMAP client also receives and stores message address to its user. However, unlike POP, IMAP keeps the message in the mailboxes on the server, unless they are deleted by the user. The most current version of IMAP is IMAP4, which listens for client requests on port 143. Many different email servers exist for the various network operating system platforms. Text messaging. Text messaging, shown in the figure, is one of the most popular communication tools in use today. In addition, text messaging software is built into many online applications, smartphone apps, and social media sites. Okay. Both clients and simultaneously send and receive messages. Text message may also be called instant message. direct message, private message, and chat message. Text messaging enables users to communicate or chat over the internet in real time. Text messaging services on a computer are usually accessed through a web-based client that is integrated into a social media or information sharing site. This client usually only connects to other users of the same site. There are also a number of standalone text message clients such as Cisco WebEx Team, Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and many others. These applications are available for a wide variety of systems and devices. A mobile version is typically offered. In addition to text messages, these clients support the transfer of documents, video, music, and audio files. Internet phone calls. Making telephone calls over the internet is becoming increasingly popular. An internet telephony client uses peer-to-peer technology similar to that used by instant messaging, as shown in the figure. IP telephone make use of voice over IP technology, which convert analog voice signals into digital data. The voice data is encapsulated into IP packets which carry the phone call through the network. When the IP phone software has been installed, the user selects a unique name. This is so that calls can be received from the other users. Speakers and microphone, both in or separate, are required. A headset is frequently plugged into the computer to serve as a phone. Calls are made to other users of the same service of the internet by selecting the username from a list. A call to a regular telephone, landline, or cell phone requires using a gateway to access the public switched telephone network (SMTP), depending on the service. There may be changes associated with this type of call. The protocol and destination port used by Internet telephone application can vary based on the software. Okay, voice client, Internet, voice client, IP. Finish with check your understanding. Question 1. This protocol is used by a client to send email to a mail server. That is simple mail transfer protocol. That's right. Email clients connect to SMTP server over port 25 to send email. POP and IMAP are used by clients to receive email. HTTP is used between web browser and web servers. Repeat, email clients connect to SMTP servers over port 25 to send email. POP and IMAP are used by clients to receive email. HTTP is used between web browser and web server. Question 2. Which is a feature of IMAP? It downloads and copies email message leaving the original on the server. It uploads email message to a server. It listens on port 110 for client requests. Okay, IMAP is a protocol for clients to retrieve copies of email message from an IMAP server. The original message remains on the server until manually deleted. Go back. Uh, that's right. IMAP is a protocol for clients to retrieve copies of email message from an IMAP server. The original message remains on the server until manually deleted. Question 3. True or false? Text messaging is only available on a smartphone. That's right. False. Text messaging applications are available for a wide variety of operating systems and devices. And application layer service summary. What did I learn in this module? The client-server relationship. The term server refers to a host running a software application that provide information or service to other hosts that are connected to the network, such as a web server. An example of client software is a web browser, like Chrome or Firefox. A single computer can also run multiple types of client software. A crucial factor to enable this complex interaction to function is that they all use agreed-upon standards and protocols. The key characteristic of client-server system is that the client sends a request to server, and the server responds by carrying out a function, such as sending the request document back to the client. The combination of a web browser and web server is perhaps the most commonly used instance a client-server system. A URI is a string of characters that identify a specific network resource. The part of the URI are protocol scheme, hostname, path and file name, and fragment. A URI has two specialization. URN this only the name space of the resource without reference to the protocol, and URL this defines the network location of a specific resource on the network. HTTP or HTTPS or URL are typically used with a web browser. Other protocols such as FTP, SFTP, SH, Security Shell, and others can be used as a URL. The next tab is Network Application Service. For most people, the most common internet service that they use include internet search, social media sites, video and audio streaming, online shopping sites, email, and messaging. Each of these services rely on protocol from the TCP/IP protocol suite to reliable communication to information between the clients and servers. Common services include DNS, Security Shell, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, POP, IMAP, Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, HTTP, and FTP File Transfer Protocol. Domain Name System. The DNS provides a way for hosts to request that IP address of a specific server. DNS names are registered and organized on the Internet within specific high-level groups or domains. Some of the most common high-level domains on the Internet are .com, .edu, and .net. When the DNS server receives the request from a host, it checks its table to determine the IP address associated with the web server. If the local DNS server does not have an entry for the request name, it queries another DNS server within the domain. When the DNS server learns the IP address, that information is sent back to the host. The next tab is web clients and servers. When a web client receives an IP address for a web server, the client browser uses the IP address and port 80 to request web service. This request is sent to the server using HTTP. The HTTP protocol is not a security protocol. Information could easily be intercepted by other users as data is sent over the network. To provide security for the data, HTTP can be used with Security Transport Protocol. Requests for security HTTP are sent on port 443. These requests use HTTPS in the site address in the browser. Write down HTTP. When the server receives a port 80 request, the server responds to the client request and sends the web page to the client. The information content of a web page is encoded using HTML. HTML coding tells the browser how to format the web page and what graphics and font to use. There are many different web servers and web clients. The HTTP protocol and HTML standard make it possible for these servers and clients from many different manufacturers to work together seamlessly. The next tab is FTP clients and servers. FTP provides an easy method to transfer files from one computer to another. A host running FTP client software can access an FTP server to perform various file management functions, including file uploads and downloads. The FTP server enables a client to exchange files between devices. It also enables client to manage files remotely by sending file manager commands such as delete or rename. To accomplish this, the FTP service uses two different ports to communicate between clients and server. To begin an FTP session, control connection requests are sent to the server using destination TCP port 21. When the session is open, the server uses TCP port 20 to transfer the data files. Most client operating systems, such as Windows, macOS, and Linux, include a command line interface for FTP. There is also GUI-based FTP client software that provides a simple drag-and-drop interface for FTP. The next tab is virtual terminals. Telnet provides a standard method of emulation text-based terminal device over the data network, but the protocol itself and the client software that implement the protocol are commonly referred to as a telnet. Telnet server listens for a client request on TCP port 23. A connection using Telnet is called a VTA session or connection, rather than using a physical device to connect to the server. Telnet uses software to create a virtual device that provides the same feature of a terminal session with access to the server client. Telnet is not considered to be a security protocol. Although the Telnet protocol can require a user to log in, it does not support transporting encrypted data. As data is changed during the Telnet session, it's transported as plain text across the network. This means that the data can be easily intercepted and understood. Security Shell provides the structure for security remote login and other security network service. It also provides a strong authentication than Telnet and support transporting session data using encryption. Encryption. Network professionals should always use Security Shell in place of Telnet whenever possible. And the last tab is email and messaging. Each mail server receives and stores mail for users who have mailboxes configured on the mail server. Each user with a mailbox must then use an email client to access the email server and read this message. Many internet messaging systems use a web-based client to access email include Microsoft 365, Yahoo, and Gmail. Applications protocol using processing email include SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, POP3, and IMAP4. SMTP is used by an email client to send messages to its local email server. The local server then decides if the message is destined for a local mailbox or if the message is addressed to a mailbox on another server. If the server must send the message to a different server, SMTP is used between those two servers. SMTP requests are sent to port 25, a server that supports POP client receive and store message addressed to its users. When the client connects to the email server, the messages are downloaded to the client by default. Messages are not kept on the server after they have been accessed by the client. Client contact POP3 servers on port 110. A server that supports IMAP clients also receives and stores message addressed to its users. However, unlike POP, IMAP keeps the message in the mailbox on the server, unless they are deleted by user. The most current version of IMAP is IMAP4, which listens for the client request on port 143. Text message might be called instant message, direct message, private message, and chat message. Text messaging enables users to chat over the internet in real time. Text messaging services on a computer are usually accessed through a web-based client that is integrated into a social media or information sharing site. This client usually only connects to other users on the same site. And internet telephony clients use peer-to-peer technology similar to that used by instant messaging. IP telephone use voice IP, which convert analog voice signal into digital data. The voice data is encapsulated into IP packets which carry the phone call through the network. And Webster reflection question. As you now know, when you want to access a file or a website that is not located on your computer becomes the client sending a request to a server. Maybe you are only looking at a file. What if you need to download a copy of it your computer? Perhaps you are just visiting a website. All of this occurs at the application layer on the network. What else can you do online because of the protocol and service found in the application layer? Application layer quiz. Service quiz. Question 1. What two characteristics describe an FTP connection choice to? A large file requires more than two connections between the client and the server to successfully download it. The server establishes the first connection with the client to control traffic that consists of server commands and client replies. File can be downloaded from an uploader to the server. The client needs to run a daemon program. The first connect The first connection established is for traffic control and the second connection is created to transfer a file. Question 2. Which statement is correct about network protocols? Network protocols define the type of hardware that is known. They define how messages are exchanged between the source and the destination. Which statement is correct about network protocols? They define how messages are exchanged between the source and the destination. They are functions in the network access layer of TCP access layer. They are only required for exchange messages between devices on remote networks. Question 3. Which protocol is used by web server to serve up a web page? HTTP. Okay. Question 4. Match the protocol. Provide remote access to server. Security shell. Automatically configure host with IP address. DHCP. Resolve internet names. And retrieve email message by clients. And question 5. Which two protocols are used in the process of sending and receive emails? POP and Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. Which two applications provide virtual terminal access? Okay, Telnet. What is the advantage of using security shell over Telnet? Okay, security shell provides security communication to access hosts. Question A. Refer to the exhibit which protocol allow a user type. Okay. Question 9. Which protocol is used to transfer web page from a server to a client device? HTML. Question 10. Which two application layer protocols manage the exchange of message between a client with a web browser and a remote web server? Okay. Match the port number of the email protocol. Okay. SMTP POP3. Okay. Okay, you scored 91%. Congratulations, you have passed the test. Okay. Oof. Which protocol is used to transfer web page from a server to a client device? Is HTTP. Okay. Well, this is all for this. See you in the next one. Bye.